Today it's less different strokes and more just different stroke. Because there are only two of us. Katie is at work and sending well wishes to Mark, who broke his collarbone yesterday. Guy went down like a cement fridge, but in fairness, I don't think he was expecting that tackle either. But in the studio with me today,
get well soon, Holmes,
is the one and only Mr. O. How you doing, sir?
Hey. I'm alright.
Good week?
I'm alright. I'm just alright.
Just alright. Why? What's wrong?
Just alright.
One of them weeks or just no?
Just one of them weeks.
You're halfway through the week now, so that's...
Kids are kidding.
Kids will continue to kid, bro. They'll kid and play.
Kids are kidding. One child had a new TA and told him straight into his face, "Oh, fuck off, I'm not working with you."
What? I thought your school was filled with like bare middle class white kids.
They are, but some of them like to try it because there's no real oomph in the school.
I think kids today are a little bit more braver just because they know you can't do them now.
They're brazen. I've got middle class white kids being sturdy in the playground. Like, Mr. O, do you know what this is?
No, they should ask, can your niece still do this?
Dude, listen, and I say to them, look, I know what that is. I ain't got the knees for it anymore. I ain't got the knees for it.
Yeah, elasticity in your knees. I
ain't got the knees for it.
On 7, bruv.
I get down, and then that's about it.
On 7. Like, we ain't got time to watch you be doing stupid things.
Let's not do that. How are you doing, Holmes?
I'm alright, man. I'm tired. I think, obviously, I'm getting used to, like, obviously, where I'm working in the office and then I'm not going home. I'm coming here direct.
Yeah.
I'll get here early and then I've got to do the whole transport for London thing of just being sweaty Betty on tubes. So it's not the most enjoyable journey, but I broke up the journey instead of going Victoria and then going, 10 stops across the district line. So it's not too bad, man. But I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm very light on topics today, but the stuff I did see, it's different because I think when it's everyone's in the room, it's easier for me to cater to topics which mold to everyone. Because it's you and I in the room, I have to find topics that cater to you.
That we will kick off. All right.
I will go with the topic I originally wanted to wait for everyone to get here, but I'll go by this one first. So,
we can talk about shit like She-Hulk and yeah. Go.
So, someone named Dr. Dame Katie Denise, who goes by the pronouns she, her, wrote this, and I thought I'm gonna read it out first, and then we will speak. Okay. The sight of a pregnant woman can be both triggering and offensive to trans women who are unable to give birth. I'm writing to my MP to ask to introduce compulsory stomach binders for birthing bodies to conceal their cyst bumps when out in public. This is basic manners.
Look.
I'm gonna let you laugh.
I remember Michael Che said in his stand-up, look, black people just wanted civil rights. Just be civil. Can we do civil? Turn the fucking hose off. We just want civil. Fam, this is insane. Come on. Your cis bump. Hold on. Don't make a pregnant woman take off her earrings calling her child a cis.
No, CIS.
Yeah.
So
I know.
obviously, so obviously we're cisgendered now because we are the gender that we were. The gender you are, I can't remember exactly what it is. The gender you are born into or assigned is the one that you go by.
Listen. And because it's just you and me, let me not say something that ends up.
Yeah, you can't hide. You can't hide, bro.
Trend.
Listen, why you're laughing?
Men saying stupid things on podcasts.
Where you're laughing, yeah, I looked at this twice and I was like, the problem is the whole ethos of the world we're in now is based on inclusion and diversity. That is totally fine. And I think when you're talking to people from different backgrounds and understanding people from different backgrounds, the main thing you have to understand is that everyone has a voice. but you have to make sure that you're not being disrespectful to your voice.
Agreed.
Right, yeah. Now,
And also to others.
there you go. Now, regardless of your gender or whatever you choose to go by, asking someone biologically, right, yeah, because it's not fair. Now, a lot of things are not fair, but a lot of things are not fair based on economics, like social economics, as in you're born into money, I'm not born into money. You went to better schooling. That's economics. That's based on like things, sociology, like general sociology of how the world works. Fine. To ask someone who, in modern ideals or modern terms, a cisgendered woman, to bind their stomach, I don't even think that's safe for the child.
That's not. It's not. Only to save the feelings of women who cannot have children biologically.
So then, for example, let me use this. So, for women who can't, no, I'm not even gonna say trans women. For the general woman, for example, who can't have it. No, but I'm not. I'm excluding trans women from this conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. For general women who can't have kids.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they see pregnant women. For example, the woman can't have kids because they have endometriosis, or they're just unable to have kids because of a miscarriage, ECT, and whatever. Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like saying to them, because you're around me and you're pregnant, can you not come around me because you're pregnant?
Can you not come around?
You know what I'm trying to say? The individualism.
This is what's made, and the thing is, I'm not laughing at. I'm just laughing at
the audacity of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's like you just said, it's a huge audacity to ask somebody to hide something they naturally do because it offends you who can't naturally do.
Do you know the problem?
Bars. Know what I mean?
Do you know the problem? The problem is you have to. The problem is when you're speaking about inclusion, diversity, and understanding. If you flip that 180, for example, yeah, and you're saying, for example, okay, you want that, but why must I do that? Because you won't feel uncomfortable. So someone can say what you represent, as in because you, like for example, when J.K. Rowling said that trans women are not real women, because they don't have periods. I was like, oh yeah, but that doesn't make you a woman, rah, and the rest. People are very offended by that. For example, you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Now, pregnant women can also say, I feel a way that you are angry about a natural, beautiful thing because you're unable to do that. And there are women who are cisgender women who can't have kids. They're not going to say, oh, can you hide your bump?
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You have to, I think that you have to equate a level of logic to
your outrage.
Yes.
And this is what I was going to say, is that there just seems to be, there's outrage, and that, like in Loki with the splintering of the timeline, it's like there's outrage,
the rupturing of the timeline.
Yeah. And
there's branch
outrage,
yeah.
And then there's an outrage off the outrage, and then there's an outrage off the outrage that's come off the outrage that's kind of connected to the main outrage, and then it gets to a point where it's just not connected to the main outrage at all, and now you're just kind of
do you not think
shooting for the stars and being like, yeah.
Do you not think, like, obviously, especially with Generation Z and whatever, why they almost have burnout to a lot of things? Because they're outraged by so many things, be it Eminem or music or rah, that
they ain't got
there's
time.
so much things for you to be outraged about that you feel fatigued. Because it's not like you're like, okay, cool, I feel outraged about one thing, and I'm going to do my best to acknowledge and abolish why this thing is outrageous to me, but it's consecutive. It's a microcosm. No, it's not even a microcosm. It's a massive section of things that you don't like. Yeah. And then you're getting burnout, splitting all your eggs into different baskets where you're unable to give the same amount of energy to everything.
Because you're having to be pissed about something else the following day. That one's insane. I'd love to hear that again. But that's insane. That's like white people saying to black people, could you stop dancing, please? Because
you can't dance. Even though white people can dance though.
Could you your two-step is too smooth. Could you not? I can't catch it. That's And again, I am you know, this needs to be the line he says, I am all for equality, but
I think, you know, the problem
what's
is,
clever?
the problem is that I live by this term and I keep on saying it.
Man.
I remember someone saying, I feel like the world ended in 2012 and since then we've been living in a simulation. And then even earlier on when I was listening to something, someone said the way the world is, especially in America, it's like people are trying
There's been it feels like there's been a shift over time, and it's
like people are trying to outrage the last person. So you had Kanye last week, and then this week you had a New York constituent, I cannot remember his name is, who is running for president. And for him to basically show that he is sex positive and wants to make sure that sex workers be paid, he made his own Pornhub video, posted it on his own page, and posted his sex tape online. Right, yeah. To show he's sex positive.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the video,
Listen.
he basically showed that the woman consented to the act. Sorry, you are dying over there, aren't you? You are dying over there, aren't you?
Oh, I love
My first thought was he might be the only politician to back his chat.
Back your chat. Listen, I support fully good and well, hard and strong.
This guy, my
The
God.
sex workers of the world.
My guy said hard and strong.
Hard and strong. Oh, I support them right nice. In fact, let me show you. Oh, wow. That's go for gold. How else this? He's got that vote though. Oh, he's got that vote though. I bet he got that vote.
But do you not think it's strange? Yeah, think about
Again,
the last.
like the outrage.
But
though.
then think about the last 30 years. Yeah, think about the last 30 years. So remember Clinton.
Yeah.
They tried to remove Clinton from office for an
Quickly.
alleged sex tape that nobody saw.
Yep.
Now this guy's trying to become a president off his sex tape
Like,
that
yeah.
people can see.
But remember, before the president they've got now, the last president, just before he became president, that audio came up where he's like, "Oh, it's okay, just grab him by the pussy. It's okay. That's what you're meant to do." And he still became president. So at this point,
but he became president because he used buzzwords catered to what we want.
oh yeah, of course. But at the same time, there was still that outrage. That's the name, outrage. So, hey, listen, if that guy could become president after all the shit that he did, hey, listen.
So wait, are you telling me if you was an American citizen and
I need to see.
you lived in New York?
I need to see that. I need to see that tape.
Well, yeah, if you was an American citizen and you lived in New York, and basically what happened was all you
he's a
had
man
to
of
do,
the people.
is that what you're
Because
calling
I've been
him?
judging him like, okay, all right,
Okay, but
cool.
what if the tape was meaty though? But what if the tape was meaty?
We can discuss it in his next session. His next public session, we can sit with him, we can talk, we can ask him questions about what he's going to do for the community and why he had that hump in his back during that part when he was, not really getting over with.
So
Mad.
his name,
Yeah, outrage. Outrage.
his name was or is sorry.
I think more and more people are being outrageous, and where there seemed to be that understanding of consequence and negativity, while it's always been a thing that even negative press is press, it seemed like where people are taking their outrage and the things that they do, they're willing to take the negativity because that still ends up being press or shine towards them. So more people are more and more willing to do things that they know they're going to get slandered for. And as a politician, bro, no one wants to see how you get down with your sex workers.
It was a sex worker. that sex worker who also has OnlyFans.
May not have been the first. If he supports,
So that's
not
what
obviously going to support
he
one.
was saying he supports.
They're going to have a system.
So he was obviously
They're going to have
saying.
a stable.
Obviously, he said he supports sex workers, so he basically thought, let me just do that to prove I support sex workers.
See,
And
now
I
the
was just
question is,
like,
how far is he going to go? Okay,
what do you mean by that?
I support the LGBTQ community. How far is he going to go?
But you can support the LGBT community without transitioning. Or without, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about transitioning.
What was you thinking about? I'm not even looking at you. I'm looking for what I need to look for. What do you mean?
Him getting in the middle of all them letters. Show support. Listen, he's gone this far.
But you can be
You're
an
gonna
ally
have to go.
without
And then-
doing the most,
And then it's
bro.
going to get interesting. You know, I support the Chinese community, the Asian community. I support the black community.
But okay, cool.
I support.
Okay, all right. Let me stop you
How
there.
far is he gonna go? He's got a Pornhub account.
Time
If
out.
you've got the account, you can't just have one video.
Time out. Right, yeah. Yeah. So if he, for example, if he supports the black community, yeah, what would he have to do to openly support the black community? In the context of this conversation.
He supports Greek and Turkish relations. You know what I mean?
Answer my first question. Don't tell me. Answer the first question.
All right. Sorry. The question was, missed it. I was lost.
As you said, him getting in between those letters. So I'm saying, okay, granted, him supporting the black community, in your opinion, what would he have to do in that sense? Because getting between the letters, as you say, yeah, is ambiguous. So anyone's brain's going to take them to whatever avenue they want to take them. I'm asking you, if we're referring to us as black people, what would he have to do to be a man of the people?
Pinky.
You're taking the piss.
He'd have to do pinky. He'd have to do pinky. For that, for him to do pinky, like, what? Wait. Pinky the legend? Oh, come on. Oh, I've at least got to hear his manifesto. I've at least got to hear what he has to say. He might have some interesting points. Pinky? Wow. He went in.
You are not serious in life.
He went in.
Mike the politician's name is Mike Itkiss.
Oh. Wow. Oh, come on. Mike Itkiss.
ITKIS, yeah.
Oh, there are so
The internet have labeled him Magic Mike, but Mike, listen, I told you the world's not serious, bro.
How outrageous does it get? My God. That's new. And he still has a job.
Yeah, of course he does.
But he still has a job, though.
Because you have
This is the point. He's willing to take the shit for it because it's going to bring shine, which he's going to try and find some way to spin in his favor.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I keep saying. He's dying over there. Jesus. Yeah. That's the... I know what he looks like. Yeah. Right, yeah. This is the... He's laughing because he's... I'm never going to say it because obviously that's now an offense. He's just a tall bald guy. A tall bald guy. Right, yeah. But listen, the point is, the world's gone mad. Like, each to their own. I just don't... You know, it's just really weird politics.
Yeah.
It's like, don't get twisted. Do I honestly believe on a random one, The Rock in like 10 years' time can run for office? Of course he can.
Yes.
Because if you're telling me Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to become, was it the mayor of Miami or governor of Miami?
Who?
Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor.
Governor of California.
Yeah. And Trump, who has no political experience, became president of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Then The Rock can. And The Rock's a lot more loved than Trump.
Listen, The Rock can do... Oh, look at him getting in. Okay.
Are you really watching the video while we're on the pod?
I was curious.
Are you actually? Are you both watching the video while we're recording? Okay, cool. I've never seen it, so
I was really curious.
right, yeah, fine. I'm changing subject, by the way, because you two are enjoying this way too much. Me personally, I've not seen a video. Like, all I know was when I was listening to something earlier on, they said the comments on the video were hilarious. Like, yeah, they goes, you've got to be sick. You have to be sick to comment on a video Right, yeah. And
On Pornhub, that's
they said, what's worse, commenting on the video or rebuttaling the comment? Right. I died with laughter, yeah. I was on the train. You know when you snigger and people look at you, like, it was one of them ones. But you've died.
No, but you... No, I was going to say, because you got to check the numbers, got to see what views are doing, see comments, you see what you don't like.
You don't have to check the numbers. Man said you have to check the numbers. Fam, what's wrong with the man them? Check the numbers.
If he's only showing he supports sex workers, he's gonna see how his numbers are doing. If he's gonna go to and
no, he's seeing how his campaign numbers are doing.
Community.
No, his campaign numbers, because ultimately this made it to widescreen, but they made it to the wider mass of media.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a difference about what his numbers did because it's made it to the wider mass of media where everyone can see it, and it will go on. They're not going to show you the video.
Yeah.
Obviously, man can go onto the pH and check, right? Yeah, you can check his pH balance for all we know. But ultimately, yeah, all they're gonna see is okay, this guy's running for sorry, this is throwing me off so much. It's throwing me off so much. The guy's running to be the prime minister, president, and to show he's not body positive, he cares for sex workers. He thinks, why not partake in...
I mean, but politics
is a game of
for growing up on, I had an awareness of politics. I had awareness of politicians, who they were, not really what they were doing, but kind of that they had some stature. The quality and there never used to seemingly be a belief in a politician, but politicians these days,
people had belief in Blair. People had belief in Thatcher. People had belief in John Major.
It just doesn't seem. I mean, and especially with what's going on now with this Tory government, where they're just coming in, they're coming out. They're coming in,
don't get twisted. I think the last person people really believed in government was probably Cameron.
I think that's why there seems to be this thing about, where's he gone? He just fucked off. He just left us in this shit and he fucked. Well, that is kind of what he did. But yeah, that's why there seems
he triggered something and left.
And then left.
And then you still had Theresa May to pick up the shit. And then you had Boris. And now you have Liz Truss. And Liz Truss's cabinet, just like Boris, is falling like dominoes. So
there was another one today, innit?
The woman who was worse than Pretty Patel, who was busy. I'd love to get on a plane and go to Rwanda. What?
She's been deported.
Yeah, but ultimately she's gonna have to, because obviously you might as well, as it's still all based on politics anyway. Yeah, if Liz Truss, because as Mark used to say, I don't trust her. If she has to resign, does that not mean there has to be a general election?
Instantly, yes, because this is kind of my.
Or should there be one? Sorry,
there should be one because listen,
none of us voted for her.
Oh, I was just about to say, is it not Labour's time?
No,
because
no,
and I'm just devil's advocate in here.
But we can have this other conversation because I'm gonna get comfortable as you said. Go on,
but. It's been Tory a long time.
But it's been Tory because Labour been shit.
And that's why I was just like, Labour's not really showing or coming forth or seemingly having anyone at the top who was the last person Labour-wise who could have done it.
Prescott. Oh no, Ed Miliband. No, Dave Miliband. But Dave Miliband was too close to Tony Blair, and in him being too close to Tony Blair, his brother did some weird shit, and apparently seems to be on every podcast and everything. I keep seeing Ed Miliband everywhere. But here's the thing, because obviously we're doing devil's advocate. So I'm going to ask you questions. Keir Starmer's been in power for Labour, I think 2.5 years now, maybe 3. Do you have faith in Keir Starmer? Sorry, Sir Keir Starmer.
No.
Right, yeah. So if you as a normal person who follows politics every so often, like you're not an avid politics goer, sorry,
Yeah.
what makes you think the person who does follow politics has faith in Keir Starmer?
I can honestly, and this is the thing that's
Because don't get twisted,
jarring
as
me.
black people, we naturally have an affinity because of our parents to vote Labour.
Yes.
Working Class Party, ECT, and whatever.
Yeah.
But in the last few years, what qualities of Labour tells or shows you that they care for the working class people?
None
So
at all.
that's already a problem. So you have to understand there's a lot of people who, when they voted, either voted, in my opinion, voted Lib Dem or voted Independent or voted Conservative. Because even voting Labour, it's a situation of you may trust what they used to do, but you don't trust what they represent now. Conservative big C, conservative little c. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? That type of mentality.
Yeah.
So ultimately what's happening now is, it's like, yeah, Sir Keir Starmer can come in, but the problem with my optics of how I'm looking at politicians is people are using the position as a stepping stone. That's the first part. The second part is whose manifesto, as it currently stands, is showing me that I really want this job. Because you can do this, in the Houses of Commons, but if you got the job now, you're just as scrambled as everybody else is.
Yeah. Honestly.
It makes no difference. You know when people say, "Oh, same shit, different toilet." It would make right now, as we currently stand, with Brexit, with the war going on in between Ukraine and Russia, ECT, it would make no difference who's in power because it's going to still affect the working class person more than anyone else.
And this is the thing. It's literally time for a change. But there is nobody to change.
Listen,
to.
As you said that, I'm gonna balance UK and American politics because at the end of the day, this is a good topic because we've gone from silliness to actual seriousness.
Yeah.
Now you can look at this. Trump came in, off the back of, it wasn't the back of Obama. It was off the back of Obama. Yeah,
it was.
Right. Yeah, they wanted change or whatever. They got Trump. They hated Trump so much they tried to abolish man. And then, in the end, ended up getting Sleepy Joe Biden, right? Yeah, they got Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris, yeah, who laughed about sending man to jail. Well, I said, and I laughed at me and G Money had a conversation, and I said, listen, this guy is worse than Trump. No, it's not because of the rhetoric he spews. I said, no, he's fueling hate speech. Yeah, but he has no political there's no political understanding. He knows nothing.
Yeah.
Now flip that with someone who has 40 plus years of political experience
in the game.
He can do more damage
quietly
without opening his mouth.
Quietly, yeah.
He's been in power 2.5 years, 3 years, 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah, because they start doing the campaigns now. Yeah. In the 2.5 years, I have not seen Kamala Harris once.
Bro, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Kamala who? Where? Harris? Because you don't see her. There's no awareness of her. She's not out saying anything, doing anything, making herself a presence. There's no presence of her.
There you go.
So it's kind of, she's very forgetful as a vice president.
Yeah,
Joe wasn't. When Obama was in, Joe was always like, yeah. I'm here. Where we going? What we doing? Where we doing it? So it was.
But that's the problem. You have these figures. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The one thing that the UK and America have in common at the moment, just on a ignorant thing, is it looks like nobody knows what they're doing.
And they're all kind of making it up as they go. Especially with this Tory government and the way that people are coming in and coming out. The speed at which people are coming in and coming out is...
But that's more so because people have had enough.
Oh, well, listen. Don't think that I don't believe that Rishi Sunak knew what was coming. And he was like, you know what? Before you lot hang me for this, nah, I'm out. I'm out.
But I think that's a power play. Because even then, if he goes and becomes PM... If he became PM, for example, because ultimately people didn't want to make voting PM because you were part of the original BS.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So then if you come PM, it means that either you're the next person you give the job to. Who's got the job? Michael Gove, his old job.
So.
Yeah, whoever you gave the job to would have to amend your thing, or you'd have to try and be a little bit more discreet in what happens.
Yeah.
But listen, it's a situation that obviously inflation is raised by 10% or something like that. I can't remember what it was, 10.7%. But that wasn't the most shocking thing that has happened. So it was based on mine, yours, most people's favorite people, Met Police. So Met Police, hundreds of Met Police officers involved in sexual misconduct, racism and homophobia, according to damning report. Right, yeah. Now, I think it was the chief commissioner came out and apologized. Yeah. But, and maybe this is me just saying this as, I was irritated listening to what he said, because I don't believe an apology is enough.
Is enough?
If you're talking about hundreds of police officers involved in sexual misconduct. So you're talking about Sarah Everard and whomever others who have been through sexual assault or sexual misconduct based on police officers. Racism, be it black, Asian, South Asian, East Asian, European, or xenophobia, either way, of people from different backgrounds. And homophobia. So basically, it's a free-for-all.
So things that I can only speak from the community I'm from, but things that we've basically been saying for years and years, they're now going, you know what? Sorry about that. That's how it, honestly, that's how that, just hearing that, that's how that literally makes me feel like, you was moaning and, you was writing in Brixton in the 80s and, we don't know what they're about. Actually, you were spot on. We good? You good? Everyone good? Fuck off. Nah. That takes multiple stories of that we've heard growing up of people being assaulted by the police, people being killed by the police, and it being covered up in all sorts of nonsense, and unfortunately justice hasn't been served, and that blue line that they call it, that blue line has just held firm and they've gotten away with it. So now when you actually come out and say that it's not just on one front, you're literally shooting into the crowd, pardon the term, but you're literally aiming for everyone, and all you get is an apology. But then what's the next step going to be? They're going to go, okay, so now we're going to implement what kind of courses, we're going to bring this thing in, we're going to put body cams on. You put body cams in, and this is still an issue.
It's a human issue. It's a systematic human issue. And what I mean by that is, it makes no difference. It's like when people say, fair representation in jobs. No, it's not. For me, it's never been about fair representation in jobs. It's like talking about race irks me, because ultimately, like, even in, for example, doing something which is based on diversity inclusion, like at work, what they do is when they hire you, they do it through an application form. Mm-hmm. Can't see your name, can't see your sexual status, ECT and the rest. They just hire you because you're the best for the job. So it's not like, Bartholomew from X, Y, and Z, from Exeter. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's not that. Now, even if you're doing reform and the rest of that stuff, the biggest issue you have with this overarching thing is, as I said, it's a human problem. Mm. You can't actively change someone's mentality who has a pre-ingrained thought process towards a certain section of people
that they've grown with.
So let's use Shaka Bars. You know who Shaka Bars is, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Shaka Bars, there's a lot of things he says that I agree with. But a lot of what he says is very problematic.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Now, the rhetoric he spews of protecting your own is nothing that's different from any other culture or any other race, but it's the extras of basically F white people, rah, 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 and the rest. Which, that's where it becomes problematic. Listen, racism exists, and I understand for me, my issue is with his level of intelligence, right, yeah, the problem is, with his level of intelligence, the problem I have with him is he's better than that to spew the generic thing what everybody else does, which is, all you black people are violent rhetoric. Okay. But it's like, when you say a high majority are violent, so you pass off as everyone.
As everyone.
A lot of women are this, so you say it as everyone.
Yeah.
In his case, F white people because they're all racist. No.
All of them.
That's not true. And that's where it becomes fundamentally problematic. Like, I know, when speaking about race, you can't get emotional about it because people switch off.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes.
So then, even in this, when we're talking about police, for example, in your mind, because obviously it's one of them situations where it comes into, you need it to be in homogenous nature for it to be inclusive for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone.
Right, yeah. What would you personally believe would be the best ideals for a situation that, as you said, you can only speak for black people, but you can also be an ally with women, people from LGBTQ, do you know what I'm trying to say? You can also be an ally in those avenues for where you believe what would be the best thing for that situation. I can go first if you want me to.
Yeah.
So I personally believe with a lot of these type of situations, having a conversation within workspaces are very important. Right, yeah. I know it sounds mad, it's too simple, right, yeah. But having these conversations, because ultimately, if I'm...
with the people from those communities.
If you have someone within your organization which is from their communities, yes. But I do believe sometimes it can become a thing where they're looking at you like they don't understand specific things.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And it can kind of become like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I think having these conversations where it's like, okay, boom, that's not okay. You know what I'm trying to say? Where you're pre-ingrained to feel like, I can say, coon this, black this. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, you need to make sure that people understand this is problematic behavior. But then from that, because ultimately, a course ain't going to change nothing. But we went to school and we did certain classes we didn't really want to do, but you're there because you have to be there, innit?
You have to be there. But that's the thing. But that's the standard issue. There's going to be some reform. There's going to be some new law. There's going to be some new course that they're going to be put on. But there's not really going to be something that's going to deal with the issue, which is we've had, when we've had multiple cases or issues or stories of police not acting in the way that they should, it's just shut up.
I think I stand by it, and it sounds really like cut or dry. There has to be ramifications for your actions. And I feel like it's bad mind me saying this because ultimately everyone deserves a second chance regardless. Yeah, but you have to know, like, when you're raising children or when you're a kid and you're growing up, yeah, we live by the term, those who don't hear shall feel, innit? Right, yeah. I don't care what background you're from, everyone is aware of that. For every action, there's a reaction. Right, yeah. Something simple.
You fuck around, you find out.
Something simple. You and I the same age. Right, yeah. You got a problem with me, I'm trying to ignore you. You're trying to draw me out, I finally get drawn out, and I react. I am no longer in control of that situation.
Yeah.
So everything in the aftermath of that, regardless of me being triggered and reacting, is no longer in my control. It's in your control.
It's in your control.
So anything you want to do to me, you are now in your mind obliged to do that because you now have the power.
You're now in control of the situation.
There you go.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at these situations, yeah, that's where I say that's where it's based on Shaka Bar saying, other people who have an elitist mentality towards their race and their culture, where you have to somewhat protect your community first before, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But still, you can still be, as you said, be an ally for the other communities who are who are literally going through the same thing. And that's the thing that links people together is that collective hate, annoyance, irritation with the police.
I think it's more so that you pay tax that funds the Met Police
And then
to
they
protect the people, but you have people who are, and I think I said this in an episode before. Yeah, you have to understand that you're from East, for example, and you're from like Gants Hill, for example. Let's say it's got the highest crime rate,
that's a different East.
area. All right, cool.
No, but I know what you mean.
Okay, Romford.
Yeah.
Okay, say from Romford, crime rates moderate,
Different.
but you know it goes down.
Yeah,
fine,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You become a police officer, and your area of expertise is
Cheshire.
no. Too far. Your area of expertise is no. Your area that in which you work in is somewhere like, what's that place called? It's in North London, near Wembley. What's that place called? Church Road.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
see if you're used to like crime, and then you go from that different mentality. Now, let's simplify this now, and let's make it a little more broad. You're from Slough,
Okay.
right? Yeah, and your area of working is Brixton.
No.
You already see why this is problematic, don't you?
Just imagining that is insane.
Now, you're not from South London, but you as a person, forget your race, you as a person, right, yeah, already have a preordained opinion of Brixton.
Of Brixton, the people there, the crime rate, the general consensus of crime in that area, who it's caused by, who looks like it.
Do you understand the point I'm trying to make now?
Touche.
So you're there proving. So you're going into an area where you yourself are already. I'm not talking about the general populace of police, people who are working in areas that they're not used to. They're reading a pack of what people are like in this area.
Yeah.
Your what do you call it, officer? Your direct officer above you, or the person you're in the car with. Already, I'm used to these people. They're a bit so you're coming in tense.
Yeah.
And you're going in nervous. The difference is you going in nervous to these areas. You also have a kosh. You also have a taser. Right, yeah. And you also have pepper spray. But you're also reacting off of fear. So you're in a position of power, but you're reacting off of fear.
For fear.
Now, take that fear factor and apply it to the fact of you may, if you're a person that believes in God and you feel like things that happen within the LGBTQ community are ungodly, you're going to take that into your engagement with
that community.
If you feel like certain people feel like black people are lower than dogs or lower than animals, you're going to take that, or you think they're naturally aggressive, you're going to take that mentality into that engagement.
Into that engagement with them.
If you have a problem with South or East Asian people because you're closet case racist, you're going to take that into them engagements when you see them. So ultimately, or if you feel like you're an elitist and still feel like the views you have are set on how women should be from the 1950s, you're going to take that into an engagement when you see them after hours on the street. Everything is a systematic issue that ultimately you can say we need diversity within the police force. It doesn't make a difference. In my opinion, it doesn't.
Because you're not dealing with the system.
Yes.
It's based in.
I.e. why I stand by, whether it was Ivan Tony doing this the other day with a racist tweet, a racist DM, whether it's people drawing out, people pulling people up for ignorant comments and whatever. I think there was the CEO of Apple.
I even told you. Listen,
the CEO of Apple, all of that stuff. You have to air people out to embarrass them for thing, because you felt comfortable to do it in the dark, to send me something wild. And like the CEO, the racist remarks, ECT for Apple, the Ivan Tony thing, someone's like, oh, tried to air him out, basically saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that because you can ruin his life." No,
child.
he chose. No.
It became
Your parents failed you because they didn't teach you that there's what do you call it for your actions. I knew from a young age if I committed a crime and police came to my front door, my mum was handing me over.
Yes. I should go beat you first and then hand you over.
Because people be like, "Oh, your mum's bad mind." No, because in her mind, I didn't raise you to be a
I
criminal.
didn't raise you to be no thief.
So
go do
what you're doing, but you're not doing it here.
Yeah. In that Ivan Tony situation, it started trending when he's only 23. Because the general consensus was, oh, but he's only 23, he's a baby, he didn't know what he was doing.
Meek Mill told you he's only 23, he's just shit now, look at me. What do you mean, bro? You're going to jail.
He didn't know what he was doing, he's young, this is going to ruin his life. So? But, again, like you said, you were brazen enough to say what you had to say, and you said it from an account with your face on it.
Bare face.
Look at me. And I'm saying these things. Wow. Hey, you.
I'm one of the few people. I'm one of the few people that doesn't believe age signifies certain things. Like when we look at Twitter and we look at like the free fall of Twitter when people say ignorant comments from how many years ago, rah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a strong believer in going back through people's tweets to try and find something. I think it's nasty. Right, yeah. Because how you felt then is not how you feel now. If we're talking about right now, and you say something right now, and you get airs for it right now, you own that right now. I'm not dragging someone up for ignorant comments they made 10 years ago.
They came for Harry Pinero real quick.
Yeah,
they found them receipts real quick. But it's like they had them waiting.
The thing is, those are the things. I'm not judging, man, on comments from back a day, because at the end of the day, it's not I'm not the same person, because everyone grows. You're not the same person. I'm judging it on. If you catch me right now making them remarks, there you go.
Yeah. Then you have every right to give me all the hell that you have.
There's a level of malice you have to go dig through archives and go and find it up. I honestly believe, and I live by this, and I know people won't like it, everyone in their life has said something ignorant about someone of their background or from a different race because of out of anger.
Yeah.
The only difference is because it's on the internet and the internet's forever. The internet's forever. The internet is forever. And when Twitter started, nobody knew what they would be in 8 to 10 years. I'm gonna run it as banner. I have a dark sense of humor. My humor is dark. Yeah.
Me too.
But in me having a dark sense of humor, I know certain jokes can't run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's PC on the pod, and I'm PC with most things, but there's a line that even I won't cross. Like, I'm not Frankie Boyle. I'm not gonna ban at someone's disabled son.
Oh, listen.
You know what I'm trying to
say? Yeah. Listen, even me, I can be a bit wayward, but I know where the line is. So it's about the line's different. The line is different for different people, and they bring that in as, well, my line is different to your line. You can't tell me where my line
is different from your yay.
Whatever happened to him?
He kicks ball for Grand Athletic, and he makes music. He still makes music.
Oh, he still makes music?
Yeah, but he's independent. But he plays football for Grand Athletic. They're a good team.
Shout out to that guy. I like that song.
The original one with the Burna Boy beat. Yeah. Okay. you got any topics?
I had a few. There was one about that kind of Harry Pinero story.
I have no idea what the Harry Pinero story is.
Harry Pinero was on a podcast, following the classic trend of men on podcasts saying stupid shit.
What, recently or back in the day?
Yeah, I think quite recently. And he was on a podcast and he was talking about a time when he was with a woman who was breastfeeding her child, I believe. And while she was breastfeeding, he was not stopping what he was trying to do. The internet then went over, gave...
I need context of what you mean.
Oh, he was trying to have sex while the woman was breastfeeding.
Oh, okay. So back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was talking about, I think... he
was dealing with a girl who had a child?
He was dealing with the girls with a child. The woman was trying to breastfeed the child. He was still trying to slip it in. The internet then were like, yeah, you're cancelled, blah, 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 blah. It instantly, it felt like the very next day, the receipts started to come up. Oh yeah, Harry Pinero. He's always said stupid shit. Yeah, look at this video where he said that his white girlfriend is more Jamaican than Jamaican people because
That's not that deep.
she took him.
But then, by the way,
no.
the Jamaican thing's dumb because Jamaican people are a people. They're not a race.
They're not a race. Right. Okay. But you see what I'm trying to say.
Like, White Yardie is Jamaican, bro. He's more Jamaican than I am. Yeah, it's not a race.
That always
the culture of being Jamaican is not a race. One world, one people.
Random question. Being Jamaican.
Half, but go on.
Half Jamaican. When you see white people with who represent that culture, does it not freak you out, but just make you go like...
No, it freaked me out when I saw a Chinese person be Jamaican with sweet patois.
Whoa.
So the first time I went to Jamaica...
Listen, because I know there's a big dance hall Jamaica, Asian...
Yeah, but obviously Jamaica now is basically a colony of China just because of how much East Asian people live in Jamaica now. They sold their roads to the Chinese people. They've owned the roads for the next 20 plus years, ECT and the rest.
Yeah.
Same with some parts of Grenada and certain parts of the Caribbean and bits of Africa as well. When I was younger, when I was 9. So I went for the millennium anyway. And obviously this was before like I understood the full ins and outs of the Caribbean as a kid. Like, I knew what my Caribbean understanding was based on my mum. And then the going in the shop, South Asian guy, probably could have been Indian by background, could have been any background, you know what I mean? Because you have Indonesian, Indo-Caribbean people.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Patois. So it rattled me and I was like, okay, cool. Then seeing what looked like at the time as a kid, Mr. Miyagi. But I'm saying what it looked at as a kid. I'm never trying to be disrespectful. Right, yeah. What it looked at seeing Mr. Miyagi speaking patois, I was bugged. I was bugging out. Never seen it before in my life. It's like, let me simplify it. It's like when you see, look at Love Island, for example, when you see black people with Irish accents.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
That's the best way. Think about it. Something that doesn't make sense to you, it makes sense to your brain. For me, it's black people with Irish accents. Because when I see you one day and I hear that, I think, oh yeah, she's cute. Then I hear the accent, I'm like, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Because it rattles you. Because you're like, this ain't normal.
Oh, you do that.
Think about. Remember, because of globalization. Think about a random country and then think about adding something to that mix that don't make sense to you.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. But that's why I was saying, because when I see white people who can do or who naturally have, some through marriage, some because they live in Nigeria, but who have
who speak Yoruba and whatnot,
that accent, who can speak Yoruba, who can do the cooking, it just throws me a bit. Still to this day, I don't know why. I don't know how we got there off Harry Pinero, but I think it was my
the white girl Jamaican thing.
No, it was It was.
That's not insulting though.
No. But it was. You know how soft the internet is these days.
Do you know it is as well?
Spirits.
No, do you know it as well? I live by two things. I look at it as two ways. One, people love to come up. People love to see you well. People love to see the fall off, and then people love to see the rise again. So one, a lot of people don't like Harry Pinero anyway. Two, Harry Pinero is unapologetically himself, and he has a sense of humor. His sense of humor teeters the line anyway, especially in the PC era. I remember watching a show with him and Philly, where he was doing Ann Summers thing, and I was like, oh yeah, love a bullet. He go, oh, sorry, 50 Cent. Right, yeah. Like, shit like that is hilarious.
And it's quick.
And it's discreet and quick. Yeah. But I think, the problem is with the internet, people like to be offended.
Outrage. Everyone wants to be outraged about something. And it just leans towards the very quick way that, again, like you say, people love to watch the come up, and then they love to watch, hey, you're up there, you're doing well, and then they love to see the come down, like Michael. Well, there wasn't really, but with Michael Dapper, after the whole Big Shaq thing, after that sort of died down, and then
they tried to get onto him for having a light-skinned girlfriend.
Right, for having a light-skinned girlfriend. Oh, your next single, it didn't do the same thing it did. And no, as opposed to realizing it was a character, it was the whole thing, and it was just very quick to try and bring someone down. Shit. What was it? Listen, outrage. It sucks.
I just think it's a situation of, as people, we have to just start to concentrate on what's best for us, as in the individual. Because I honestly believe if you were patterned in life and you were doing well, and I'm patterned in life and I'm doing well, my house situation's good, my job may not be greatest, but it's good. Like, and you're in that space.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you don't have time to concentrate on petty politics.
You don't care. You don't care. Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
A lot of people are burning.
Listen, you got time. Now they're telling me Pastor Toby's 31. Don't piss me off.
That's mad. He's younger than you.
Are you mad? He's not.
Probably could be.
Jods. Old man.
Could be. Anything else?
Got my uncle.
What else you got?
You ever have a Dettol bath back in the day?
I didn't have a choice. And I've asked multiple Caribbeans why they did this. And
yes.
And
yeah.
You know, I've never had an answer.
You see that look? It's mad, isn't it?
I've never had an answer. I've asked why, and they said it's just something that we do. And I said,
you never?
okay.
You asked?
Asked.
You dared to ask?
I asked as an adult. I didn't ask the child. You're crazy.
Okay,
You're
cool.
mad.
Did you see, like, completely different cultures, but we both do. No, wait, you asked as a child?
No, I asked as an adult. I could have got. In fairness, my sense of humor as a child, I could have got away with it.
As a child?
As I said, that's why people leave me alone as a thing. I think because I was quick-witted as a child, I think it's one of the ones where, like, as an adult, people leave me alone because they just think, okay, if he's quick-witted as a child, there's a lot more swiftness than adults, so it's just one of the ones where you don't.
Bro, our parents had us bathing in milk.
All right, Fergie. Fergalicious step.
No,
Fergalicious step. That's mad. Milk. What, goat's milk or milk?
They had us bathing
Don't
in
laugh
milk.
like that. Don't laugh like that. I asked a question. Milk or goat's milk? Oh, you thinking? Okay, cool. No, them oil people that are sitting there blocking up roads and that, yeah, will come and bother you for wasting cow's milk to wash your skin.
Insane. Dettol baths. Sorry, I just thought about it the other day, and I saw a bottle of Dettol, and I looked at it, and then I just remembered.
It's like a cap of Dettol, yeah.
Yeah, the cap of Dettol, and it.
Yeah, man. But they got Dettol salt now. You got Dettol salt now, so it's fine.
Nah, yeah, it doesn't do it
because it's not the same smell.
I missed that.
I remember Ivory soap, so pure it floats. That's the stuff we used to use bare in the house. Went to America when we came back, we just bought back bare Ivory soap.
Yeah.
And now you can just get it here. So it's mine.
Yeah, that's the same.
Or I use Dudu Ocean soap. DU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. All right. Do you boys were you ever allowed to go out trick-or-treating?
No. I've said this multiple times, I don't dance with Duppy. And my idea of trick-or-treating was I'd put on my puffer jacket and put on a mask.
And go out on road.
Touch the road. No, you know what it was? I think my mum was just like, my mum was one of the ones where it's like, that stuff there is beggy, and yeah, it's not beggy. You don't go down, you can't teach a child, for example, not to talk to strangers and take things from strangers. But on Halloween, you can go and knock on people's door and go ask the random dappy man round the corner for sweetie. Like, don't run.
I found a sentence that you can put any African or Caribbean accent to, and it will generally ring the same no matter which one you put it in, which is, the question was, were you ever allowed to go to trick-or-treating on Halloween? So you mean, was I allowed to go to other people's houses and beg them for food like I don't have food in my house? Again, put any accent on that, any wordage, that sentence is basically the same. Mum, can I go out trick-or-treating? There's rice that I cooked in the freezer. Are you... Nah. I never got to do it. But I never wanted to do it. I never really was a Halloween fan, to be honest. So I never got to do it. But, you know, the way that it's now, like a lot of other random holidays have just become standard in the world. It's a it's a big thing. Like kids are Halloween. What are you celebrating?
Everyone was like, because everyone knows how much I hate Christmas, and obviously there's Grinch jokes and rah rah. They're like, what do you like? I said Easter. Oh, for the chocolate. I said, bro, I believe in God, but I was also raised a Christian, bro. Like, don't get twisted. I believe in God. I don't still have the same, like they say, a person who doesn't know God don't know themselves. Like, listen, I don't believe in the confines of religion, but I still believe in a higher power.
A higher, yeah. I
So even then, I'll still raise the Christian. I still like what Easter represents on a biblical level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always been how I am. But all the other holidays are just fabricated BS. Fabricated BS. Don't come bother me at Valentine's Day. I'll dash water in your face, bro.
You don't celebrate.
Never in life have I ever celebrated Valentine's Day in my life. I tell you, once. I bought a girl chocolates and a card when I was in college, and then took her to see Notorious.
Smooth. Movie date. Popcorn on the lap.
No, I'm not a creep. You trying to get salt in your bits, bruv. I don't know what you're on. I'm not on that, bruv. See, demon time. I'm not on that, bruv.
See, but that's the thing. Even these days, you can't make that kind of joke because then.
Yes, you can.
Was there consent? Did you consent to whipping it out?
Bruv, you're moving like
changed.
Louis CK or whatever my man's name is.
Games changed.
My God, you can't do that because the game's changed. No, bro, you catch cases. It's not the games change. You catch cases.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It's nasty behaviour. You'll catch cases.
Back in the day, that was a thing that people did.
Yeah, because they weren't pulled up on it.
Exactly. Game changed.
I'm pulled up on that, but let me wrap this episode up.
Game done change.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Cause thanks, because I like woo, I was stressed coming to the studio today. You get me? Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. I'm not gonna lie. Because I like talking to you, and even though when we've got the others here, it's nice that they're here, yeah, whatever. But
That's hilarious,
we have
man.
jokes. We have little jokes that only we get and they don't get. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, because you're a scumbag. That's why.
I know, but I know the line is.
Yeah, as I said, Mark, well wishes. I want to call you anyway.
Mark, get well soon.
Hopefully you'll be back next week, sling and all. Kay will be back next week. You can find this DSP on all your favorite DSPs. My personal favorite YouTube. You can find mine, Mark's, O's, and Kadia's new updated Instagram and Twitter information in the description below. She made sure to let me know I just said that. You can find Mark and O's website links for their photography and book books in the description below. This is the shortest one ever. I've been Raw Talk Reese. To my left's been
Mr. O in the building. Hey, ho.
our engineer Corsvin, hiding behind the camera. Yeah. And we'll be back. What is wrong with
And
me?
we'll be back next week.
Thank you very much. Love and guidance. Peace. And blessings.